Hi. So, in trying to help the gaming populace to heal in the event of the sweeping changes that seem to be happening at light speed due to the results of the election, and just understanding that the rest of the population isn't on board with all the diversity, equity, and inclusion bullshit, I figured this would be a great time to just kind of help out and like get these messages out to the rest of us in order to show that, yeah, it's not interesting. Nobody, it's not all good out here. Nobody cares about this shit. Censoring women's bodies in anime and video games is absolutely misogynistic. From that understanding, I kind of agree. Why are we going through this process of full scale just altering people's bodies to make like a handful of people happy? And again, we talk about erasure of, and that was a big thing that was talked about in these past like 10 years. The erasure of different cultures, the erasure of women, the erasure of all this other stuff. But then we turn around and we're erasing big-breasted women because they do exist in society. I'm from the Midwest. There's a lot of big-breasted women that exist out here. And I'm very happy that that is, because I want to exist in a titty-ass wasteland where there's no big breasts and no big asses, whatever. That's a goddamn shame is what that is. Sad. It makes me sad. It makes me feel bad. It makes me want to like rethink my life choices. So people say something like Stellar Blade over-sexualizes or objectifies women, but all the game does is show off her skin. If you put two and two together, they're basically saying women's bodies are inherently sexual, and not only that, it's basically saying women showing skin is indecent and disgusting and should be covered up in the eyes of impure men. So these lefties absolutely hate women, they hate what they represent, and they hate how they express themselves. It's funny how feminism went so far down the sauce that they circled back to Islamic-like philosophy. I don't think that's the case, honestly. I don't think it was the fact that it's gone so far down that it turned into an entirely different culture altogether. I think that feminism in general, or just the idea of feminism, has always been steeped in jealousy and hatred of other women. Al Bundy, one of our greatest 20th century philosophers, stated that we don't have to understand women. Women understand each other and they hate each other. And I feel like that's kind of a core tenet of why you see a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. Even the newly found, quote unquote, newly found, in all of its irony, the 4B movement, where women are shaving their heads and putting on masks and wearing blue bracelets in order to hide themselves from the male gaze, whatever. I feel like this is just an aspect of people trying to control other women and to get other women to be as miserable as they are. It stems in some form of mental illness and a lot of self-loathing and a lot of like just hatred for other women. I don't like that somebody else is in a better relationship than I am, or that they're actually enjoying themselves, or they're comfortable with their own bodies or whatever. So I'm going to try to gaslight at least if not a section of the populace. We're going to attempt to gaslight the entire populace to switch over to my philosophy so I can be happy, whatever. But in reality, they're equally miserable. A lot of these women that follow this idea, they come out of this incredibly miserable. Sometimes they wind up harming themselves. Sometimes they wind up taking themselves out of the equation altogether. I mean, it's kind of sad. Like, men and women need each other. And that's really what it comes down to. Men and women find each other attractive. That's human nature. And it's never going to fucking change, no matter how hard you try to push it. A lot of these people are trying to tell you that the only way you can be happy is to alter yourself, even though being comfortable in your own skin or being happy being you, it's not a physical thing that you... It might be a physical thing in, like, say, run some laps, lose some weight, like actually just take better care of yourself. But chopping your genitalia off or chopping parts of your bodies off in order to make yourself feel happy is weird. And yeah, people are going to get mad at that. People are going to have feelings about that statement. If so, then the comment section exists for a reason. Be mad. But ultimately, if you want to be happy being yourself, just take a moment out to understand yourself. Like, just go relax. Like, get away from social media for a little while. Just go read a book. Go spend some time with yourself. Do some self-care. Yeah, self-care is big amongst women, isn't it? Like, you gotta stop letting social media tell you what to think and what to feel and how to act and all that other stuff, because that shit's really terrible. Like, you can listen to what I have to say, but you don't necessarily have to follow what I have to say. And that's the beauty of having an opinion or whatever. You can get mad at me for my opinion, but it's my opinion at the end of the day. But sometimes opinions, and sometimes like having general ideas of things and stating those things, and if you take a step back and just kind of go out for a walk or relax or just spend some time away from the internet or from social media or whatever, you might find yourself a little bit more clear-headed and a little bit happier with yourself. You might actually find that a lot of the stuff that people are saying is just bullshit. And it was just geared to make you do things that they want you to do. I don't want you to do anything that I want to do. I want you to think for yourselves. I want you to think critically about the media you're consuming. I want you to actually like make your dollar work for you. I want you to not be cheated and swindled by a bunch of assholes that are trying to push activism in gaming, which is really what it is. This is why I keep saying is like, yes, culture war stuff. I understand the culture wars are a thing, but in reality, Gamergate was originally a consumer revolt. And I'm looking at everything in the lens of a consumer, because if you look at it in the lens of a consumer and you realize that somebody is basically trying to separate your money from you and leave you with a bad batch of goods, then you start to like really start side-eyeing a lot of these people, a lot of these ideas, a lot of these concepts, a lot of these like premises, whatever. Like Dragon Age to Veligard. Why is people so hard up to tell you that you should buy this product? And they're trying to use these buzzwords like trans identity and gender binary and shit like that. It's mainly to get you to buy a bad batch of goods that they're establishing. And they're trying to make you seem that you're a bad person if you don't adhere to their philosophy and purchase their products. It's basically a hostage situation. You're being held hostage by a bunch of like shitty ideals that other people have. And that's part of it. That's a big part of it. There's a larger thing at play here, but I do agree with what this person is saying. I do feel that, yes, censoring women's bodies, toning down people's breast sizes, altering like sliders in order to make the largest breast size available to be like an A cup or a mid B cup. That's misogynistic because you're excluding a lot of different sizes and different shapes. It's not diversity. That's not diversity at all. Diversity would mean you're going to a H cup or a J cup. Diversity means that big-breasted women and big women with big asses are a thing. Diversity means that everybody is on the board there, not just the people that you're interested in because you're afraid that people are going to look at this character in a sexual way, which you can't control people on that aspect. You can't control what people are interested in or what people like. You can't manipulate people into adhering to your weird kinks and fetishes because that's what you're interested in. That's not what the majority of us are interested in. It's bullshit. It really is. So let me read these couple of things here. Apparently they don't care what lesbians and bisexuals think about hot women, just straight guys. Yeah, because when you're erasing these women, you're also hitting your lesbians and you're hitting your bisexual women. The male gaze is an excuse created by women who hate men and spew their hate and try to control them. You know a woman who talks about the male gaze, or if you know a woman who talks about the male gaze, then go to her and try to control the men she's attracted to and call it the female gaze. See if she puts up with that. Yeah, I agree. It's the easy way to handle this situation is apply this in the opposite direction and see if they don't like it. The shirtless men or whatever, if you take that away, they're gonna throw a hissy fit. A lot of women's, I just talked about this on Twitter the other day, or X, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I still call it Twitter, fuck you. So women get in a big stink about what men are interested in only because they don't like men being happy. When you look at female novels, a lot of that shit is weird, kinky, fetish bullshit based off of their own personal kinks and fetishes, because certain women, especially in those spaces, are into some real degenerate bullshit. Like the Handmaid's Tale shit, like it's thinly veiled fetishes of they're gonna hold me down and do things to me. And then you see like their eyes basically roll back into their heads and like a little sliver of drool coming out of the corner of their mouths because they're just thinking about that shit. And they're interested in that shit in the worst way, but they're trying to make it into some activist talking point, which is really fucking bizarre. At least I'm open about what I'm interested in. I like librarian broads that have big titties and big asses. I like that type of shit. And Jennifer Taylor. but yeah, I mean, that's, men can like things and women can sit there and have a problem with those things, but like they want to pretend, these women in this situation, they want to sit there and pretend that they're just all sweetness and light, and we're snakes, snails, and puppy dog tails, and they're sugar and spice and everything nice, until you actually look at the shit that they're interested in. They're watching like a whole fucking snuff films and shit and getting all hot and bothered over it. And it's up to us men to kind of call bullshit on that shit and point it out for what it is. It's a human nature issue more than anything else. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thank you for joining for this. I'll see you next boss fight. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.